guys.
We want you to take a look in advance of today's summit. Yesterday, the National Republican Congressional Campaign, the NRCC that runs the House Republican campaigns, put out a little web video comparing this to the Blair Witch Project. Take a look.
They're gonna ram it down our throats.
It's that scream at the end that really makes it. Of course, today's summit going on at the Blair House.
Yes, exactly.
That's your Blair reference. We're joined now from the Democratic perspective by Senator Ben Cardin, a Democrat of Maryland. Senator, thank you for joining us. And I want to start with Congressman Pence was just on, and he said this is essentially a waste of time. But what have you heard today that to suggest that there's room for bipartisan consensus if it's there, or do you feel like that's going to be out the window after today?
Well, I think that all of us are trying to bring down the cost of health care, the growth rate of health care. We also believe that all Americans should have access to affordable quality care. And I've heard agreement that we need to deal with the abusive practices of private insurance companies. I would hope that we would now talk about how we can get there. The president has brought forward a proposal. The Republicans, I would hope, would come forward with concrete suggestions on how to achieve those goals. We're at the beginning part of today's discussions. I haven't heard too much from the Republicans yet, but I think it's important that we bring down the cost of health care and that we do it in a way that Americans are guaranteed access to affordable quality care.
But Senator Cardin, that's what's been being said for over a year now. You guys had agreement on that a year ago when you went to the White House and there was a bipartisan meeting on what they were going to do on health care, and obviously the differences are on how you get there. Do you see anything coming out of today that alters where this health care debate is in the country?
I think we've seen information that's been made available. I think the public now has a better understanding about how the Democrats want to attack this problem and how the Republicans believe we should proceed. Quite frankly, they want action. The public wants action. And I think they're starting to see the different approaches. Quite frankly, I think we need to act. We need to deal with these issues. And I quite frankly believe the president has been very open about seeking help from all members of Congress.
Senator, we put the question to our Twitter followers today about what this would accomplish, and specifically whether the healthcare summit today would change a single vote in Congress. One response we got from M. Monides, sorry if I'm mispronouncing, the target audience for today's forum is the American people. Obama is essentially prosecuting the case of GOP obstruction. Is that what this is about? Is this about highlighting where Republicans are as much as anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think it's highlighting the need for health care reform. That we can't, the status quo means that we're going to see these insurance premiums go up, as we saw in California, by as much as 40%. I could give you cases in Maryland where people have been denied coverage because of pre-existing condition, where small business owners have been unable to cover their employees, where bankruptcy filings are taking place. I think it highlights the need for action for Congress to get its job done.
Senator, at the top of the meeting today, Lamar Alexander asked the president to take reconciliation off the table. Otherwise, the rest of the day was basically irrelevant, is what Lamar Alexander said. Why not meet him on that? Why not say, you know what, you're right. This is a sixth of the economy. Let's do this the way we do most legislation and put reconciliation to the side. Wouldn't that be a major concession on your guys' part? And then find the 60 votes to get it through?
Reconciliation is part of the budget process. I serve on the budget committee. What it says is that in order to get our budget done, majority rules. I think that's pretty democratic.
Senator, I want to ask you about the jobs agenda that is being pushed now. Some bipartisan agreement yesterday in the Senate. What is the next step going to be, and how quickly are we going to see additional movement on the jobs front out of the Senate?
Well, it was good news that we finally got Democrats and Republicans together on a jobs bill, 4 important provisions. Next week, I think you're going to find a second jobs bill that will deal with unemployment compensation, which will deal with insurance protection for those who lose their jobs, that will deal with extending important tax provisions that allow businesses to invest in job growth in America. I think you'll see that next week. And then I think you'll see a bill dealing with small businesses so that small businesses have an easier time getting credit, which is a huge issue. And so I think you're going to find that there are going to be smaller bills dealing with job growth so that we can try to keep this bipartisan momentum going to help Americans create more job opportunities.
Do you have a sense, or is there an estimate about the bill that you guys voted on this week in bipartisan fashion, how many jobs that creates?
I think the number was about 1.3 million jobs are affected by, in a positive way, on what was passed. The extension of the highway program, the providing of credits for hiring new workers.
All right, Senator Ben Cardin, Democrat of Maryland, we thank you very much. We'll let you get back to watching the summit. I assume you'll be talking to some of your colleagues in the aftermath.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Senator.
Yeah, well, we got to get back to our TV viewing. We got to get back to this summit. This has been our little time away from it.
They may be on their lunch break right now.
Oh,
but
okay,
yes,
all right.
We will get back to it. That does it for this edition of Top Line. Be sure to click us on again tomorrow.
And if you're stuck behind a computer, you can watch it at abcnews.com. We're streaming the entire healthcare summit, and you can follow the tweets, twitter.com/The Note. Let us know what you think.
Do you have a favorite moment yet? Is there an answer?
Yes, I learned about undercover doctors.